What's good? We're Grayscale, and you are watching Rock Sound. When we wrote the record, we had the idea for what the cover should look like, and we had the songs pretty much done, but we didn't have a title for it yet. We were in the studio at the time in Austin, Texas, and I think we were outside, if I remember correctly, and we were like, "What are we gonna title this?" Like we know we want to have this photograph of this girl in this pose, kind of demonstrating like all the emotions of life all at once, capturing this moment that this girl is having with herself. And I think the name Nella Vita, we basically just wanted to capture, with the record being about all of the experiences and all the feelings and emotions you experience through your lifetime. We outside were like, this is really just a record about like life. And that sounds so basic, but it's like it's really in a raw and true form, like just a record about lyrically like my experiences in my 25 years. So it's it literally translates to in life in Italian, and I think the songs themselves and the image of the record tells the story on its own very much. So yeah, the title was it was a complimentary thing, but I think we agreed like a romance language saying in life is what we wanted to do. We all grew up playing different instruments, playing different kinds of music within our respective instruments. So like I started with drums, Nick started with drums, our drummer Nick started with drums. Other Nick and I started with jazz, particularly before we transitioned to rock. Andrew was growing up playing a lot of like soul and funk and gospel singer-songwriter kind of stuff. Like, so there's a very eclectic mix of what we like to play, what we've grown up listening to, what we've learned to play traditionally. It was always things we've wanted to do. We just didn't think, with Adornment, our first release, it was necessarily, it wasn't the time to bring in to pull these influences. But for Nella Vita now, there's a lot of, funk influence. There's a lot of alternative rock. There's a lot of soul.
And like Collin's saying, it's like we're just students of music. We love all sorts of music, all of us. So to bring in aspects of like the Motown and the funk, like it felt, natural for us. But obviously it's a weird feeling when you put that music out to see how fans will react. But if you put out another Adornment, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves. So we wanted to keep, things fresh and kind of, dig into the other aspects of music that we love. So, and, Vaughn is a huge, funk influence and background. So what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think we all grew up, like I grew up listening to every one of us grew up listening to all sorts of music and all sorts of genres and things, and I think that all collectively got brought into Nella Vita even more than our previous.
Totally. And again, I think like it was something when we were writing Adornment we were conscious of, and there's little breadcrumbs in there, but I think second release we found it more appropriate to kind of pull from those influences. It's been overwhelmingly awesome, and we're so thankful to have such amazing fans, just people being so receptive to it, and our first headlining tour that we did in the US right when we put the record out, and now over here in the UK, like seeing people singing the words and just having like such a genuinely awesome interaction with one another. And yeah, it's been great. And we have a very, very cool special exclusive cassette tape of Nella Vita.
You can get it now
At records.rocksound.tv.